Welcome to my channel Coin Info. Party Popper here. You'll find amazing details and history about different coins from around the world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with every new video. So, let's get started. The Elizabeth II D.G Reg FD 1993 2 pence coin is an important part of modern British decimal coinage. The obverse of the coin carries the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael David Makhlouf, which was first introduced in 1985 and used until 1997. This portrait shows the Queen wearing the royal diadem, with more sculpted and classical features compared to earlier designs. The inscription around her portrait reads, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. FD 1993, which expands to Elizabeth II, Dei Gratia Regina, Fidei Defensor, translated as Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This wording reflects both her constitutional position as monarch of the United Kingdom and her religious authority as Supreme Governor of the Church of England. The reverse design of the coin is the famous badge of the Prince of Wales, created by Christopher Ironside for the decimal coin series introduced in 1971. It features a plume of 3 ostrich feathers rising from a coronet. Beneath the coronet is a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, which means, I serve. This emblem has long been associated with the Princes of Wales, dating back to the 14th century and the Black Prince, Edward of Woodstock. The denomination appears on the reverse with the inscription, 2 pence, at the top and the numeral 2 at the bottom. By 1993, the words, 2 pence, had replaced the earlier, new pence, legend, which had been used from 1971 to 1981, making coins like the 1993 issue part of the modernized series. The coin's specifications also highlight the changes within Britain's economy during the 1990s. Originally, the 2 pence coin was struck in bronze, an alloy of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, giving it a reddish color when newly minted. However, by the early 1990s, the rising cost of copper meant the Royal Mint needed to consider alternative metals. Thus, 1992 was a transitional year. The 2 pence coins began being struck in copper-plated steel. The 1993 coin continued this new standard, meaning that while it retained the same outward appearance as earlier bronze issues, it was actually magnetic due to its steel core. This change reflects the practical and economic adjustments of Britain's currency in response to global metal prices. The dimensions of the 1993 2 pence coin are consistent with earlier issues. It has a diameter of 25.9 mm, a weight of 7.12 grams, and a smooth edge. These specifications were deliberately chosen during decimalization to make the coin easy to recognize and to fit logically into the range of denominations. Despite the change in metal composition, the Royal Mint maintained identical size and weight so the coins could circulate seamlessly alongside older issues. For everyday users, the change was almost unnoticeable, though collectors today often test these coins with magnets to identify whether they are bronze or steel. From a historical and numismatic perspective, the 1993 issue is significant for several reasons. Firstly, it represents the ongoing usage of the Makhlouf portrait, which is one of the most collected designs of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. Secondly, it falls into the early years of the copper-plated steel era, making it part of a key transition in Britain's coinage history. Thirdly, 1993 coins are widely available in circulation, meaning they are not rare, but pristine examples in uncirculated condition or in proof sets remain valuable to collectors. Proof strikes of the 1993 2 pence coin were included in annual sets produced by the Royal Mint, often with a highly polished finish and sharper details compared to circulating versions. The cultural symbolism of the coin also deserves attention. The use of the Prince of Wales badge on the reverse reinforces the close ties between coinage and monarchy, while the Latin and German mottos preserve centuries of heraldic tradition. The obverse, featuring Elizabeth II, connects the coin to one of the longest reigning monarchs in British history. Every element, from the materials chosen to the inscriptions, demonstrates how coins serve not only as money but also as historical documents, carrying the story of a nation's economy, politics, and culture. Overall, the Elizabeth II D.G Reg FD 1993 2 pence coin may seem like an everyday piece of change, but it carries a remarkable depth of history. It embodies the transition from bronze to steel coinage, showcases the artistry of both Makloof and Ironside, and reflects the continuity of monarchy and national identity. For collectors, it is part of a broader series that spans decades of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, and for historians, it marks the practical changes in Britain's economy during the late 20th century. Even the smallest coins, like this one, can serve as lasting witnesses to an era of transformation and tradition. The Elizabeth II D.G Reg FD 1999 2 pence coin belongs to the modern era of British decimal coinage and is part of the long-running series first introduced in 1971 when the United Kingdom adopted the decimal system. By 1999, the 2 pence coin had been circulating for nearly 3 decades and had already undergone significant changes in both composition and design details. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael David Makloof, which was first introduced in 1985 and used until 1997. However, in 1998, the portrait on British coinage changed to a new effigy by Ian Rank Broadley, and this design continued into 1999. This makes the 1999 coin important because it carries the fourth definitive portrait of the Queen, one that presented a more mature and realistic depiction of her face. Around the portrait is the inscription, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. FD 1999, an abbreviation of the Latin, Elizabeth II, Dei Gratia Regina, Fidei Defensor, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The reverse of the coin was designed by Christopher Ironside and had been in use since decimalization in 1971. It depicts the badge of the Prince of Wales, consisting of a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, with a ribbon below bearing the German motto, Ich diene, which translates to, I serve. Above the emblem is the denomination inscription, 2 pence, with the numeral 2 displayed prominently below the design. This reverse remained unchanged on circulating coins until 2008, when the Royal Mint introduced a completely new series of designs. Thus, the 1999 coin represents the traditional and classic style of British decimal coinage just before the modern redesign of the 21st century. In terms of physical specifications, the 1999 2 pence coin has a diameter of 25.9 mm, a weight of 7.12 grams, and a smooth edge. These dimensions were consistent with earlier issues to ensure continuity within the decimal system. However, by the 1990s, the composition of the coin had changed significantly. From 1971 until 1992, 2 pence coins were minted in bronze 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. Due to rising copper prices, in 1992 the Royal Mint switched to copper-plated steel, and the 1999 issue continued this new composition. Externally, the coin still appeared to be bronze in color, but internally it contained a steel core, which made it magnetic. This change highlights the way coinage adapts to economic pressures while maintaining public familiarity. From a historical perspective, the 1999 issue is significant because it demonstrates the continued popularity and practicality of the 2 pence coin, even as Britain approached the new millennium. Millions of these coins were struck for circulation, ensuring their wide availability. Although the 1999 2 pence coin is not rare, it carries numismatic interest for collectors because it belongs to the Ian Rank Broadley portrait era, which was the most widely used effigy of Elizabeth II on modern British coinage. Coins struck during this period are often considered more detailed and realistic in their portrayal of the Queen, offering a sharp contrast to the more idealized portraits of earlier decades. The cultural symbolism of the coin lies in its design and inscriptions. The Prince of Wales badge on the reverse connects the currency with the heritage of the monarchy, a reminder that coinage serves not just as money but as a national emblem. The motto, Ich diene, reflects centuries of tradition and duty tied to the royal family, while the Latin inscriptions on the obverse emphasize the Queen's divine right and religious role as head of the Church of England. Together, these elements make the coin more than a piece of currency, it becomes a miniature piece of history carried in everyday transactions. From a collector's point of view, the 1999 2 pence coin is relatively common in circulation, but coins in brilliant uncirculated condition, especially those included in Royal Mint proof sets, are more valuable. Proof versions feature sharper designs, polished fields, and a mirror-like finish, making them attractive to numismatists. Circulated coins, while not rare, are still collected as part of complete year sets. Since 2008, the reverse design of the 2 pence coin has changed to feature a segment of the royal shield, making earlier coins like the 1999 issue increasingly nostalgic as they represent the final decades of the original decimal series. Overall, the Elizabeth II D.G Reg FD 1999 2 pence coin is an everyday object with layers of meaning. It embodies the evolution of Britain's coinage system, the artistry of designers like Rank Broadley and Ironside, and the practical economic shifts that influenced its composition. It reflects the monarchy, national identity, and the history of late 20th century Britain. Though it may pass unnoticed in a handful of change, for collectors and historians it serves as a reminder that even the smallest denominations can carry great historical value.